Hey Fitz followers, Keith here. I just wanted to wrap up our little segment on the habit loop with a final thing, just kind of on something I referred to at the beginning or in this last episode about flossing one tooth. And that seems, it's going to seem like a really ridiculous idea. I stole this from somebody on a podcast that I heard one time. He was talking about this very simple way of leveraging the habit loop to start creating some positive habits on small scales, right? We always think we have to do things on such a big scale, and sometimes that's what really trips us up. So what I want us to think about is, first of all, triggers, right? The key to this is having triggers that are already built into our lives. If it's something that you have to schedule or you have to write onto a calendar, it's probably not going to happen right away. So if we can start building some momentum with small things, for instance, one thing that we do, all of us, I guarantee everybody in here does at some point during the day, probably multiple points, is use a restroom. And so one of the examples that this podcast gave is when you go to the bathroom, this guy, every time he had to get up and go to the bathroom, he would do one push-up, right? So first part of this is having something that's regularly scheduled into your life, a regular trigger that you just can't avoid. The second thing is making the action something small. It doesn't have to be something big. For you, one push-up might be pretty big, right? Or 10 push-ups might be really small. So pick a goal that's going to be easily attainable. You can accomplish in a minute easily. And once you do that, once you find that chances are, like flossing one tooth, yeah, it's pretty easy. But once you get that floss wrapped around your finger and you get it in there, you floss that one tooth, you figure you might as well do the second tooth, you might as well do the third tooth, and pretty soon you've flossed your whole mouth. And so that's the same thing with this principle is once you get on the ground and do one push-up, you figure, well, I'm already here, so I might as well do 5. I might as well do 10. But the goal remains the same, just to do one push-up every time, right? And so that simple habit loop, you have a trigger, you have an action, and now all you need is some sort of reward. And that reward, once again, we always think the reward has to be something huge. But there are lots of little things. We're talking little accomplishments, so a little reward. And we can do that just by kind of celebrating in the way that we might celebrate have you won a race. For me, it's like, yes. For you, it could be high five. Make sure you wash your hands if you're going to high five somebody else, if it's bathroom related. But other than that, just do something simple to kind of celebrate that and make it consistent. And once we start to develop those habits and have some consistency in there, then what we'll learn is there are certain things called foundational habits. Once we have that self-discipline kind of in place, then it tends to spill over into other areas of our lives. In the same way that if we are living undisciplined, it tends to spill over into every area of our life. Start with something simple. Find a trigger that you do every day. I'm a teacher, so I have schedule changes throughout the day. And so one of the things I'm trying to do is get some more core work in. So I've just started today. I'll let you know how it goes in the future. But every time I switch classes, I get down and do 10 sit-ups. That's it, 10 sit-ups. Not the perfect exercise or anything like that, but it's something that I can do on a regular basis that's going to be scheduled in my life. And then when I'm done with it, I go, yes. All right, that's it for today. Thanks a lot, guys. Remember, if you like what you see, remember to comment, encourage other people. This is a format for us to just be able to spill over and to share what we're learning with the people around us. If you have an idea that you want us to kind of encourage you in, please let us know. Otherwise, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share the content with anybody that you think might be interested in a little bit of encouragement today. God bless you guys. Thanks.